What's going on, everybody? Bubba here. We are here to talk about this weekend's football games. Well, specifically Saturday's games. A couple big games for the NFL divisional weekend. First game, Chiefs-Texans. Second game, Lions-Commanders. I can't wait. Chiefs are my team. Love them. But I'm also looking forward. That second game, Jaden Daniels is a beast, man. I love watching him play. It's going to be a good one. So let's dig into this. I did take some notes. Look at all these notes I took. And there's more. I got another stack over here, which these notes will be placed somewhere in this video so you can kind of see where I got stats to go along with the bets that I made. The first big bet that I did was just a basic, I love doing a parlay. It's a sucker's bet, but they're so damn fun. And I did a 2-leg parlay for my main bet here. Probably shouldn't have, but I'm gonna do it. I did the over-under and I did just a money line. Combined the two, got plus 128. Chiefs were favored so heavily, I kind of had to do this to make the bet worthwhile. So I'm going Chiefs money line, and then I'm going, it was 41.5 was the line that I got in at, and I went with the under. I'm hoping the defenses kind of play a role. That's what I'm kind of thinking. Score when needed, and then probably some field goals back and forth. I don't care as long as the Chiefs crush. That's all I'm hoping for. All right, let's get into bet number 2 for that game. This is a 4-leg parlay. Some prop bets. Samaje Perine is my first leg. I have him getting the over on 10.5 yards. Reason why I went with the over on that, back to my notes. I basically went back to the beginning of November. It's about his last 8 games. I figured out how many targets, how many catches, and then how many yards he made. And again, we only need 10. I took the over on 10.5 yards receiving. So get me 11 yards receiving and we're good. Out of his last 8 games, 1 game he did not do that. And that was November 17th against the Bills. Every other game he did that, including the game against the Broncos where they rested all their starters. He had 1 catch for 13 yards. So give me that. Let's mark that down for leg 1. Leg 2, we're going Mahomes over 25 rushing yards. So he needs 26 rushing yards, and I think that's very doable. Reason why I say that, if you've watched the Chiefs in the past, you've seen he's escaped some tricky situations. He's been running. They've called him Houdini, all kinds of stuff. Some people say he cheated, he acted like he was going out of bounds, and then whoop, right up the sideline, which he did it, and he's gained some big yardage in those big games. He has, against the Texans on the 21st, he had 5 rush attempts for 33 yards. It's possible. I think he's going to do it. That defense is pretty strong. They'll have their guys covered up a few times, getting some pressure along the ends, and he's going to have to scramble. I think he gets 25 yards easily. The third leg, I have Xavier Worthy, 4.5 over that, so I need 5 receptions. This is very doable, man. Xavier Worthy has become one of Patrick's favorite go-to guys. If you just go back and look at the targets, we're talking, let's go from November 24th against the Panthers. 6 targets, 7 targets, 6 targets, 11 targets, 11 targets, 9 targets. And then he didn't play against the Broncos the last game of the season. So, but December 21st against the Texans, he had 11 targets with 7 receptions. I know I said we need receptions, but those targets alone, get him those targets, he's going to haul them in. His receptions from that November 24th game, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8. We only need 5. Give me 5, and we're going to check off leg 3 of this parlay. All right, leg 4. Final leg of this parlay is we're going to pick someone from the Texans. I think Dalton Schultz is going to have a big game. We need him to get over 3.5 receptions. Now, very, very possible, especially with Tank Dell being out with his knee injury. It's going to open up, spread it out a little bit more, take his receptions away. And Dalton Schultz is a big key to that offense. Him and Nico Brown are going to be 2 of the bigger targets tomorrow, along with Mixon coming out of the backfield. But Schultz We need 4 catches from him. Targets alone, they're there. Receptions, he hasn't quite hit 2 receptions 2 times out of the last 4 weeks, but the game against the Chiefs, he was targeted 8 times with 5 receptions. So let's do a recap of this. Samaje Perine, over 10.5 receiving yards. Mahomes, 25 plus rushing yards. Xavier Worthy, over 4.5 receptions. And final leg, Dalton Schultz, over 3.5 receptions. DraftKings, this is where I do my betting most of the time, and I found this parlay to be plus 900. So an example would be $20 to win $200, something like that, and I'm doing it. So check that down. Next, same game, I did a little 4-player anytime touchdown, and I also combined it into a parlay, which I only threw $2 on the parlay. It gave me 7,500 plus odds, so $2 down. Good chance it could happen because the guys that I picked, Joe Mixon, Nico Collins. Mixon leads the Texans in rushing TDs. Collins leads the Texans in receiving TDs. And then I picked Xavier Worthy for the Chiefs. He leads the Chiefs in rushing TDs. And then I also picked a wild card here, DeAndre Hopkins. He's going against his former team here, and he is motivated to get his first ring. And I think he's going to have a solid game. So if you wanted to do some separate bets with DeAndre Hopkins, do it, man. He could have 5 receptions, 60 yards, 2 TDs tomorrow. It's very possible. So, but basically, 4-player anytime TD. Also combined them to a parlay. Joe Mixon, Nico Collins, Xavier Worthy, DeAndre Hopkins. Let's do it. I did do a money line parlay for all the games. I'm going with Chiefs, Lions, Eagles, and Bills, which I don't know why I did that because I really think the Ravens beat the Bills, but I think it was probably because of the getting me some more juice on the odds. Then my spread parlay, it gave me odds of plus almost 1150. So Texans plus 8.5, Commanders plus 9.5. Reason why I did Texans plus 8.5, Chiefs never really cover, especially in primetime games. So I'm just betting on that. Texans 8.5, Commanders plus 9.5, Rams plus 6, and Bills plus 1.5. Odds are there. Next, let's move on to the Lions and Commanders, shall we? Shall we? This is going to be a game, y'all. This is going to be a game. Top of the list, anytime TDs. Just single bets. I picked Sam Laporta. I think he has a plus 155 odds to score a touchdown, which Jared Goff loves him. That I'd look for that to happen. Jaden Daniels, dude's a running machine. Not only a quarterback, man, he's going to get a rushing touchdown tomorrow. That's plus 165 for Jaden Daniels anytime TD. I'm throwing about 1 unit on each. I think it's $10 to win $26.50. Then I did an anytime TD parlay for the game. I picked 4 guys for this game too, and you can also pick 2 of these if you want to combine your own or single, whatever you'd like. It was just I threw $3 down to win 72 plus 2,300 odd. Terry McLaurin, Jaden Daniels, Jamar Gibbs, and Sam Laporta. That's my 4-team anytime TD parlay for the Lions Commanders. I did do a one on the side when I was looking at it, another anytime TD parlay. I think I threw half a unit on this. It was like $5 to win $27.50, but it was plus 445 odds. Zach Ertz and Gibbs to get touchdowns for me tomorrow. I think Bobby Wagner's going to have a game on the defensive side of the ball. Bobby Wagner is a machine, and going after all those weapons that Detroit has. The line was 8.5 for tackles and assists. I took the over. I think he's going to have somewhere around the 11. He's going to be all over the place. Plus 115. It was 1 unit, but $10 to win $21.50. So I went ahead and threw some on that. Then like the Chiefs and Texans, I did another four player parlay here with some prop bets. It was plus 2,300. So half a unit, $5 to win, $120. I need Zach Ertz to get over 3.5 receptions, which the targets are there. The past 8 games. Even the touchdowns are there. 3 touchdowns in his past, 3 touchdowns in the last 2 games of the regular season. He did not get a touchdown in last weekend's game, playoff game. So Zach Ertz to get over 3.5 receptions. Very possible. Him and Daniels, it's going to happen. Chalk it. Then I need Jaden Daniels to get 80+ rush yards. I think this will happen too. Commander's going to be focused on shutting down the receivers, probably trying to keep him in the pocket, and it's not going to go as well as they think. He's going to get out of there. He's Mahomes 2.0 throwing wise, but then the boy's got legs. He can move. So I need him to get 80+ yards. You know, if you look back, 4 out of his last 9 games, Daniels has gotten 60+ rushing yards, including, I think, over 100 against the Falcons a couple weeks ago. So 80+ yards in a big-time game, very possible. I need Brian Robinson Jr. to get over 1.5 receiving yards. So just give me 2 catches. He had 5 targets and 4 catches in last week's playoff win. With 4 out of his last 5 games, he's had at least 2 targets. So 4 out of his last 5 games, at least 2, including the playoff game, having 5 targets. So just give me 2. Utah, give me 2. The last one, Jared Goff. All I need is from Jared Goff is 1 rush yard. Is that possible? Now get this though. Several games out of his past 8, he's had -1, -3, you know, somewhere in there, maybe even 0 yards. But a lot of those games, it was because they were leading, and you know, like when the quarterback drops back and takes a knee. He was taking a knee, and that's like minus a few yards every time. But then some other games, if you look in the bigger game, he rushed for 7, I think it was somewhere, anywhere between 7 and 20 yards. So just give me 1, Jared, just 1 yard. That's all we need, okay? Then I did a little Hail Mary play, just a big parlay, sprinkle a couple bucks on it. It was plus 6,000 yards. Jared Goff to give me 2 TDs. Jaden Daniels to get me 60+ rush yards. Brian Robinson over 1.5 receptions. Zach Ertz over 3.5 receptions. Zach Ertz anytime TD. Brian Robinson 50+ rush and receiving yards. And then Gibbs 100+ rush and receiving yards. How much is Montgomery going to play tomorrow? Makes me worry, makes me wonder. I couldn't bet anything on Montgomery. I just couldn't do it. I didn't feel comfortable because that's a pretty big injury he's going to come back and try and play on, and I just don't see it. But man, comment below. Tell me if you're riding any of these or if you're fading. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you don't like. Interested to see. Who do you have anytime TD? And if I had to think right now, let's do just right off the top of my head. I didn't write this down. First touchdown. Who's going to score the first touchdown for the Chiefs and the Texans game? I'm going to go Kelsey. I'll pick one from each team. I'm going to go Kelsey and I'm going to go Joe Mixon. First touchdown score. For the Lions Commanders, first touchdown score, let's go Zach Ertz. And first touchdown score for the Lions, let's go, I gotta go with my man Sam Laporta. I mean, we're going tight end university here. I got Kelsey, Ertz, Laporta. I could go Schultz. Schultz could get it for the Texans. Let's take Mixon out and just go with Schultz. Let's do 4 tight end university here. If I had to pick, that's who I'm betting. Let me know if you're riding, guys. Thank you so much. Stay tuned. I might do some shorts on my channel. If I do any just sudden hair up my butt bets, and then I'll post them on my shorts, so keep an eye out for that. And then look for Sunday's games sometime tomorrow. Thanks, y'all. Talk to you later.